to learn patience, the only way that you can master that is to be made to wait. There is no other way to learn patience other than to be thrown into a situation where it tests you. It causes you to make a choice to be patient. And so until we pass those tests, we can't move forward. And so it makes it easier when we have someone that has gone through it and knows what it looks like, that can give us the encouragement and help us navigate through that season that we find ourselves in, when we're in a season where God is teaching patience. Because it's not an easy season to be in, because the only way to learn how to master those fruits of God's Spirit, patience, is to be made to wait for something, or to be thrown in an atmosphere that is obstructed, and you have to have patience. You're in an argument, or you're in a disagreement with someone, and it's getting heated, and you are standing there and you're ready to blow a fuse, and then the Holy Spirit says, be patient with them. You're ready to walk away. You're ready to throw your hands up. You're ready to say, forget this. And then the Holy Spirit whispers, you have to be patient. It's not an easy place to be. No one likes to wait. No one wants to be talked to crazy. No one wants to be somewhere where they're not being treated properly. No one wants to be connected to someone where they know that the Holy Spirit has revealed to them that those people are not truly for them, or that secretly that those people are envious of them, or that they don't really care for them, or that they don't really have the love for them that they say they do. But then God tells you to stay there. Why would God tell us to stay there? I used to say, why would you tell me to stay in this place? I can't believe that the God that says he's love would want me to be in a space, or in a place, or in an atmosphere around, surrounded by people who don't truly like me, who are secretly wishing for my downfall, who are talking to me crazy, or telling me that they're going to do something that seems to be taking forever, but they're constantly wanting me to do something for them and be a part of what they've got going on. They want the support, but I'm not getting the support. What kind of God would want us to stay in a place like that? And so we have to understand how God operates. And so when you begin to ask those questions, because I'm a person that asks questions. One thing that I've always done is ask questions. And so I ask a lot of questions. Why would you have me here? Why would I be going through this? But guess what? It's an atmosphere that God has allowed us to be in, because he's trying to teach us something. He's trying to get something to us. And so I had to learn that by being in environments where it made me uncomfortable, where I wasn't treated right, or where I knew from the revealing of the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit's job is to lead us and guide us in all truth, that I'm hearing these things, but I'm still being told to stay here. Because guess what? God is perfecting us. God uses the things that we go through and the situations that we find ourselves in to perfect us, to prune us, to build our foundation. The things that are on the inside of us, to heal us, to break off things in us. And so guess what? When we are not patient, we're thrown into atmospheres where, guess what? We're being pruned. We're being crushed. Because that's what it feels like when we're there, that we're being crushed. Because guess what? Everything in us, in our flesh, wants to react. But the Holy Spirit is saying that we can't. Do we react sometimes? Yes. And so then we have to retake the test. So how long we're there depends on us. I remember when God used to say to me, Christina, it's up to you how long you're here. And I used to be like, what do you mean it's up to me how long I'm here? You see where I'm at? You know that this doesn't feel good. You know who these people truly are. You know what they're saying about me behind my back. Why would you allow me to hear it and then tell me that I have to stay and take it? Because God uses the things that are going on in our life to bring about change in us. So we learn patience. And that season is not an easy season. But God says that there are no 2-for-1s. There's no shortcuts for us. We can't bring a friend. We all have to be processed. But I've learned that in this journey that God specializes in 2-for-1s. Because while I'm in the season of learning patience, guess what? We may also be learning self-control in that same season. How do we master self-control? The only way that we can learn self-control is to be thrown in an atmosphere where it's chaotic. People are talking about you. People are betraying you. There's heartbreak. People that you thought that were there for you, you didn't know. Truly, you find out that they're not there for you. You want to go off. You want to explode. You want to give them a piece of your mind. You want to fight. Everything in your flesh that is brewing up wants you to react to it. But when God is processing you and processing us, we can't respond to things the way that we used to respond. So to learn self-control, to master it, we're thrown into a chaotic atmosphere where it tests us, where that self-control is tested. We want to go off, but we can't. We want to tell somebody off, but we can't. We want to fight somebody for what they've done to us because they've hurt us, but we can't. Why? Because a fruit of God's Spirit is self-control. What is self-control? It's when the things that we want to say and the things that we want to do in our flesh, we control it. How? Through the strength of the Holy Spirit who guides us through God, who gives us strength. God says that in our weakness, His strength is made perfect. It's made perfect within us. So some of the things that we go through in life and some of the situations that we find ourselves, some of the heartbreak, some of the past trauma, some of the pain that we've gone through, is so that we could be processed. So that God can come back and He could heal us from those things. That we can be better. And so that when we give our testimony, when we're called to give that testimony, the things that we've gone through, that we've come through, that we've healed from, guess what? They are helpful and encouraging to somebody else who may be going through something similar in that very season that we've already come out of, in that moment. So the tools and the lessons and the nuggets that God dropped and the things that we've learned and the growth that we've had coming through it, then our testimony of that becomes something that can help someone else while they're in that season in their life. That's why we're not ready to give our testimony until God has healed us and brought us through those things that we have been delivered and set free from. That's why it's important that we don't reject the truth, that we don't refute the truth, but that we take responsibility and accountability for the things that we've done, that we've said, and that we've gone through so that we can get to the place where we're able to tell our story. And when we tell that story, we tell it as it happened, that we don't add to it and that we don't take from it. We don't embellish, is what I just heard. I remember God say, Christina, when you get to the place that you're ready to tell your testimony, because I've been being prepared for this very moment for a very long time. God said, Christina, when you get to the place where you're ready to tell your testimony and you've been released to tell your testimony, make sure that you tell the truth. Tell it as it happened, no matter how small or insignificant you may think it is. I'm using it to help someone. And if it's not the truth, then it won't work. because it's the truth that sets us free.